Dr. Sarah Chen was reviewing spectral data from the Arecibo successor when her console erupted in cascading alerts. The signal was impossible to miss, a deliberate, structured communication that cut through the cosmic background radiation like a knife through silk. Within hours, every radio telescope on Earth had confirmed it. Humanity was no longer alone. The message, when decoded, was brief and devastating. Primitive species of Sol 3. Your world has been selected for resource extraction. Comply with relocation protocols. Resistance is futile. The hegemony does not negotiate. Admiral Rebecca Torres stood before the emergency session of the United Nations Security Council, her weathered face grim. The signal originated from approximately 12 light-years away, she reported. Long-range deep space sensors have detected massive energy signatures moving in our direction. Based on preliminary calculations, we have 18 months. 18 months before the hegemony arrived to strip Earth bare. The world's reaction was swift and unprecedented. Ancient grudges dissolved overnight as nations that had been enemies for generations suddenly found common cause. The emergency coalition formed within 72 hours, a unified command structure that would have been unthinkable just days before. Resources flowed like water toward a single goal: survival. Commander Yuki Tanaka watched from the observation deck of Lunar Station as the construction yards worked around the clock. Humanity had been building in space for decades, but now those efforts intensified beyond all previous measures. Automated factories churned out components, while teams of engineers worked in shifts that pushed human endurance to its limits. "They think we're primitive," muttered Dr. James Okafor, the coalition's chief weapons designer, as he reviewed the latest test results. His team had been working on theoretical defensive systems for months, but the alien ultimatum had accelerated everything. Let's show them what primitive really means. The hegemony's mistake was assuming that a species confined to a single star system was helpless. They had encountered hundreds of worlds, and the pattern was always the same: initial contact, ultimatum, compliance, or extermination. Their databases classified humanity as a Type 0.7 civilization, barely worth the effort of conquest, useful only for manual labor until the world could be properly strip-mined. They had never encountered a species that responded to threats by becoming more dangerous. 15 months after first contact, the hegemony fleet decelerated from near-light speed at the edge of the solar system. Their scans showed exactly what they expected: a blue-green world teeming with life, defended by nothing more than crude chemical rockets and primitive satellites. Fleet Commander Zekthal settled into his command throne with the satisfaction of routine. "Begin standard broadcasting procedures," he ordered. "Demand immediate surrender. Prepare harvesting vessels." The response from Earth came not as a transmission, but as action. The first surprise was the asteroid belt. What the hegemony's sensors had catalogued as natural debris suddenly came alive with movement. Hundreds of objects that had appeared to be simple rocks revealed themselves as camouflaged weapons platforms, their surfaces ablating away to expose the angular lines of military hardware. The second surprise was the Moon. Lunar Station had been visible in their scans, but they had dismissed it as a small mining outpost. Now it revealed its true nature as a fortress world, its surface opening like a flower to expose massive railguns that began hurling projectiles at significant fractions of light speed. The third surprise was humanity itself. "All stations, this is Admiral Torres," came the broadcast on every frequency. "Today, we show the galaxy that Earth does not kneel. Today, we show them that humanity stands united." Fire. What followed was not a battle but a demonstration. Every weapon humanity had ever theorized about became reality in those crucial hours. Kinetic projectiles moving at previously impossible velocities. Directed energy weapons that turned the vacuum of space into a light show visible from the ground. Swarms of autonomous fighters that moved with the collective intelligence of a hive mind. But the most terrifying moment for the hegemony came when the humans did something unprecedented in their experience. They began transmitting coordinates and tactical data in real time, coordinating their response with a precision that spoke of not just unit command, but unitied purpose. Commander Zekthal watched his seemingly overwhelming fleet get systematically dismantled by what his scanners had assured him was a primitive species. Ship after ship went dark as human weapons found their marks with impossible accuracy. "How?" he whispered, as his flagship shields failed under the concentrated fire of a dozen human platforms. How are they this advanced? The answer came in his final moments, as a human transmission reached his bridge. The face on the screen was that of Admiral Torres, her expression calm and implacable. "You made two mistakes," she said. "First, you assumed that because we hadn't left our star system, we weren't capable. Second, you threatened our children." The hegemony had rules about acceptable losses. When 30% of a fleet was destroyed, standard protocol called for retreat and reassessment. When 50% was lost, the engagement was classified as a tactical disaster. The humans destroyed 96% of the hegemony fleet. Word spread through the galaxy faster than light itself, carried by quantum entanglement communicators, that the hegemony had never imagined a primitive species could possess. The impossible had happened. A Type 0.7 civilization had not just resisted the hegemony, but had annihilated them. On Earth, as the last alien ships fled or were destroyed, humanity turned its attention outward. The coalition had served its purpose in defending the homeworld, but now it had a new mission. The galaxy had just learned that threatening Earth's children was the fastest way to awaken humanity's fury. And that fury, once awakened, was very difficult to put back to sleep. Dr. Chen, still at her post months later, detected new signals in the deep void, this time originating from Earth. Humanity was no longer content to wait for visitors. They were going to make some visits of their own. The age of human expansion had begun.